Racing resumes for the 44 Cup, for the third event of the 2025 season in Marstrand, Sweden. Historically, this is the most consistently visited venue for the high-performance owner-driver RC44 Designs, which have visited the remote picture postcard island on Sweden's west coast every year since 2011, with the sole exception of 2016. While the RC44s were up to 11 for the last event in Porto, for this week's 44 Cup Marstrand, the fleet has now grown to 12. Let's get straight into the action. So it's race 1, 44 Cup Marstrand. The boats are all jostling for position. They have a minute and a half to go before the start. The committee boat is in the middle of the picture at the moment, a little white dot. There are one boat that looks clear on the starboard ley line and approach this, which is the bright blue hull of Peninsula. They look like they're early, but in good shape. There's a lot of swale on the race course at the moment, and that means it's quite difficult to get the boats up to speed. The challenge here is making sure you keep the boat moving whilst having your good lane into the start. Peninsula bow down towards the boat that's going to tack underneath them and then sail high as they go over the crest of a big wave. There must have been some big wind blowing for the last few days to have this big swell. Two boats out to the right hand side of the start boat at the moment, jostling for that ley line position. The furthest right one goes bow down. That's Artemis trying to hook the back corner of Team Nika, which had gone bow down as well to be able to accelerate towards the other boats to lock off the ley line into the committee boat end. It's 30 seconds to go now. It's getting to the last chance up of the boat onto the breeze angle. The blue boat is still looking solid here. Nobody close below them. There's a white boat below them, which is probably the Calero Marinas boats, but down at the port end of the start line, the pin end opposite to the committee boat, there are boats over already. It's 10 seconds to go. Somebody's already trying to bail out to go back. Another boat is over the line. The first race of the regatta, and there are several boats over. 2, 1, and the gun goes. Boats are going back. The puff of smoke comes off the committee boat end. Artemis at the starboard end with Team Nika from the starboard end. There's a boat on port crossing behind the fleet here to get clear out into the right hand side. And meanwhile, down at the pin end, we have all sorts of action going on. 2 boats are already going back. A third that was right by the pin was launched, but I'm not sure they're clear. We're at the top mark now. We're looking at the fleet from the top mark back. There are 8 boats on port, 4 abreast coming in on port here. The starboard tack boat coming from left to right across your scheme is Peninsula. Peninsula sailed a great upwind. They've done a fantastic job here, and they're coming into the Wimmer mark in really good shape. As we come up into the top here, Peninsula is laying the top mark. The boats are filing in one after the other. It's so dark we can't quite see, but it looks like it's very close between 26 Artemis Racing, and as we look back from the cockpit of Peninsula Racing, one per the pitman, he's away, tack line out, pole out, the jib eases, the grinders are getting prepped and ready, they're starting the hoist, they're growing nuts on the handles now. Matthew Barber pumping those handles, the spinnaker's in the sky and it's setting it off and they're going. Who is round second and third? Both boats evenly matched. It's bow 17 Aleph and bout. It's at Team Aqua inside them. Team Aqua on the inside there. Who's going to be the first one to get the kite up? It's Aleph. Aleph kite hoisted, accelerating away from the mark. That means that the kite of Team Aqua collapses, not quite filling well. And as we come back into the fleet, there's all sorts of hecticness coming in around the mark in boats in 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and even 11 through to 12. The leading boat though, they're calm. They're cool, they're easing some controls. They've sailed well down this run. We're coming into the bottom here, it's Peninsula all the way. Dropping the kite. The pitman opens the clutch. The spinnaker comes down, we can see it coming down the right hand side of the picture there. They're turning the boat up gradually. John Bassadoni steering his boat gracefully around the mark with Vassal Biscotto informing the crew of the next part of the plan. They exit the leeward mark, the starboard rounding mark here, with 5 boats 4 boats all coming into the mark within 5 seconds of each other. It looks like it's going to be Aleph next round the starboard rounding mark. Who is going to be around the port rounding mark? It is going to be Team Artemis, I think. So it's in 2, Aleph. In 3 is Artemis. In 4 and 5 is Aqua and Charisma, I think. Oh, maybe Gamera got inside there at that next mark. It's super close coming out of these leeward marks. The blue boat is still leading. They took a course through the middle and stepped to the right a little bit. Lots of boats coming in from the right-hand side of the picture now overlaid the mark, and the guys that were on the right of this beat have done well. Setting, accelerating the boat, keeping it calm. The jib's down. The spinnaker fills as soon as that's down and clear of the slot between the spinnaker and the mainsail, and the boat's accelerating away. The breeze is built a little bit here, and as we look back up at the fleet, there's quite a spread of different choices for tacticians coming down. It's cool and it's calm on this boat. They're leading. It's nice and smooth. All they have to do now is one last jibe onto port to cross down through the finish line. Meanwhile, boat in second, Artemis, jibing for their last approach into the finish. They're on starboard jibe here. That's their last approach. They're coming in on starboard to lay into the finish. Who is going to be in third? That's the big question. But for sure in this race, race 1 of the 44 Cup Marstrand 2025, it's a smooth and well executed jibe there from Team Peninsula. The boat rolls to leeward. They step to the windward side to accelerate the boat and speed out of their jibe. As we look back into the fleet, there's a very congested part of the pecking order in 5, 6, 7, 8. Very, very busy. But looking upwind for the next race, it looks like lots of the boats have preferred the right-hand side of the upwind for that next course. They win. Peninsula win the race. Race 1, 2025 Marstrand 44 Cup. Well done, John Bassadonian team. And as we look back, we see Team Artemis coming down into the finish here. Going to make a solid second for this one. A great counter for the overall series for this regatta. Home waters, maybe a little home advantage there for the Swedish sailors on Team Artemis. And who are we going to have coming down here in third? Is it going to be Team Aqua or is it going to be ALF? Can't quite see there. Looking carefully down on there. Boat in third is ALF Racing. So from the first race, Peninsula Racing, Artemis Racing, ALF Racing. 4 is Charisma, 5 is Nika, 6 is Gamera Racing, the second Swedish race. Race 2, time to the start is 1 minute 45. The wind is built. We're looking back at the archipelago here in Marstrand. Loads of little rocky outcrops. The racecourse is set in a wonderful vista with a big castle in the background on Marstrand Island. And as we look down here, it's 1 minute 25 to go. Lots of boats jostling for position. They're mostly all on starboard here. Most boats trying desperately to get themselves into a good position for that last acceleration off the line. We're looking back at the fleet. We're panning to the right now to see the start line. 3 boats look like they're on the right hand side of the screen now. They're looking for the pin end of the start line. Another one, 4. So in this 12 boat fleet, it's a hugely congested start line compared to what we've had before. We've got a group of 4 in the middle, 4 boats in the middle. We've got then a few at this starboard end, really trying to fight hard for the starboard end. Who's going to get this starboard end off this one? For sure, the last beat on the first race today was a little bit more favoured to the right-hand side. Maybe there's a little bit more pressure, maybe there's a little bit something to do with the tide. But for now, the fleet is pretty evenly spread. 1, 2, 3 boats at the starboard end really starting to slow themselves up here, chopping wood into this big swell that's left over some breeze last couple of days. 20 seconds to go. It's all about your last acceleration, and there are 2 to 3 boats already that are in the second row. 1 boat far out on the right hand side, closest to the camera here, really trying to get the boat down so they don't get locked out for the start. But it looks like a bright blue boat to me is going to nail the start off the back of the committee boat, and the gun goes. It looks more like a clear start for this one. Who are we going to have as the leaders off this? There's a front row and there's definitely a second tier. It is Team Peninsula again. Another great race for them. tacking now from port onto starboard, lee bowing, Team Aleph in second, coming up into this top mark. And as they do that, they're putting themselves in a great position for the overall standings. It's been a really tight. We've got some really tough decisions here. Team Nika are going to have to tack. Oh no, they're being given space to go around the back of the two boats and starboard. As that happens, Peninsula is rounding the top mark. John Bassadoni's smooth downward steering. The team working feverishly to get the spinnaker up, but they're being hounded by Hewler Peak and the team on Team Aleph. Both those boats with a couple of length lead. And round in the next position, who is it? It is Team Nika Poons. Nika Poons, and then Artemis in 4. Who's in 5? We've got Team Nika, looks like in 5. And so busy with these extra boats in this fleet. Unbelievably hectic. It's Gamera coming round in about 8th position. The pitman now trying to make sure he's tidied everything up. The spinnaker is up. I think that's Kinley Fowler on that boat, trying to make sure all the sails are set. The jibs come down, the spinnaker's pulling, and the boat's accelerating away from that lure, that windward mark. Who have they got behind them? It's the team from Calero Marinas, I think, behind them. As we come down towards the bottom of the course, Peninsula, the bright blue boat with us, they have stayed on to the left-hand side of the screen now. They are going to come in to take the starboard rounding mark, dropping the spinnaker on port, jibing the boat now, turning the boat up onto angle to try and make a smooth transition into this upwind. Meanwhile, on the other mark, Hewler Peak and the team on Team Aleph, they want to split. They want to go the other way to give themselves clear wind and clear space, and space out into the right-hand side of the racecourse to give themselves more clear air. But they're going to have to sail on port now through all the dirty wind of this fleet of 10 other boats coming downwind. And isn't it looking hectic? Already one boat has decided to drop their spinnaker early. The second boat dropping. There's multiple boats now all dropping to turn. There's a penalty or something. No, the boat that's coming first to go round the port hand rounding mark dropped very early. There are 3 boats coming around the starboard rounding here. It's crazy busy at this lure mark. There's some huge gains being made by people in this downwind. Artemis in the middle, sandwich there. I think there's a boat, Monaco boat nearest the camera, and a Spanish on the inside by the looks of things. It's Team Gamera here coming around the mark now, working hard. Nick Hutton hiking hard on the windward side there. This team are the new kids on the block. They are working feverishly hard to try and make sure they climb back through the fleet. Just sailed, just to leeward of Aqua as they're coming downwind. Looking to the top of the course now, we have the leaders. The leaders now have changed. It is Team Aleph. Team Aleph has sailed fast, smooth, and gained 5 lengths compared to Peninsula here. Peninsula coming round the mark now, coming onto starboard now. They are on starboard. Team Peninsula tack onto starboard, approaching rear mark. They are going to be hot on the heels of Team Aleph as they go downwind. Aleph round the mark. They're down. The boat's underneath the rig and the kite's going up. Peninsula have probably an 8 or 9 length buffer to the next boat who's coming up just past the inner limit mark now. And who's that in 4th? It looks like it's going to be nip and tap between Gamera and another boat. So as we come into this next rim mark, it's been close in the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 part of the race course. It's a real masterclass here on this downwind from Team Aleph. Team Aleph have extended. They have 3 times the lead they were at the top mark. They're coming in, the finished boat's there. They punched the sky as they finished that race. What a great race. Excellent sailing from them downwind. And let's look forward to race number 3. Meanwhile, behind them is Team Peninsula. Peninsula with a great scoreline now, equal with Aleph. A second in the second race of today after their first in the first race. And who have we got coming down into 3rd and 4th? It looks like a very tight finish we're going to get in the 3rd and 4th positions in this race. It's going to be nip and tuck as they come into the finish here. What have we got? We've got 2 boats. One's going to be at the buoy end, the other's going to be at the committee boat end. The boat at the committee boat end looks like they're really pressed They're accelerating hard and they're working the boat really super well as they come into the finish. They are going to have a much more pressured up finish coming in here. Are they going to get in before the boat in the middle of our picture? It looks like it's a boat at the committee boat end that just nips in, passes the boat in 3. So it is passes the boat in 3 and the boat in 4, and then Gamera in 5. Wow, what a race. Really close. So it looks like we're looking for the results now. So the results shortly going to come through. As we pan back, we've got lots and lots of action coming into the finish line. Boats coming across on port and starboard. There's been some really nice, fun, powered up planing sailing coming down this last run. A starboard port into the finish with Aqua and somebody. So Peninsula Aleph racing first, Peninsula racing second, Team Nika going to 3, Charisma in 4. So all the key players in the season so far are making a good start of this regatta, and we're now rolling into race 3, day 1 of the 44 Cup 2025 in Marstrand. It's 1 minute 40 to go. We have a very congested start line in the middle of the line at the moment. Right now we have one of the teams in the old Aqua boat down at this side looking to be able to push towards the boats on starboard. We have Black Star Racing wanting to come out of the line on starboard, but at the pin end they are pushing, but they're a little late on their timing compared to the other boats. Maybe the other boats are a little bit early. So looking at the density now, right now we have a 5 boat density at the pin end of the start line. All those boats want the pin. They want to start that pin and be able to sail that side of the racecourse. Then there's a pack in the middle. There's 3 boats, 2 up in the middle for sure, who are clear. That's at Team Artemis, and it looks like Peninsula. Then we've got 3 more boats who are keen for the starboard end, one of which is Gamera and Aqua. There's a boat, looks like Sierra Vader, coming in on starboard up at the top end of the line, nearest committee boat. Some of the boats still quite a long way back trying to get there, not really estimated their time and distance well. And the boats who are right up in the mix at the moment are Black Star. The boat at the pin here is 20 seconds out. They've gone through already. They're really keen. But looking at the starboard end, it is amazingly hectic up there. Somebody looks like they're going to get shut out. It's Gamera, the grey boat's going to have the best launch out of all of them. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. It's the Gamera boat at the starboard end with the black boat. Maybe it's Aqua next to the committee boat that gets a good start. Down towards this end, somebody still not crossed the line at the pin end. It's been a starboard shift off this start line, and the starboard end is definitely looking strong, holding that high starboard lane. All these boats with their trim tabs on, making unbelievably high numbers to windward because they're sailing so close to the wind with a trim tab. As they sail off the line here, we can see the puffs of wind on the water that they're creating disturbance, but also they're sailing into patches of wind. They're trying desperately to hike the boat down hard so they can accelerate and hold their lane. Already, now we're starting to see some boats tacking to get to the right hand side. Several people on port already. 3 boats on port, 2 from being at the starboard end right on the boat, and the rest who started at the starboard end are starting and holding lane until they wait until the left phase of the shift comes. And as we look at pan across the back of the fleet, who has it been? Has it been the people from the right hand side? Who is going to lead at the top mark? Oh, there's a very tricky decisions now. Peninsula just tacking in 4th. It looks like it's Artemis. No, it's Aqua. It looks like it's Team Aqua round first. From Charisma in 2nd. No, need Team Nika in 2nd, both Monaco boats. Peninsula in 3rd, another great race for them at the moment, with Artemis in 4. Who's in 5? It is Team Aleph, by the looks of things, in 5, maybe. No, that's not. That was Charisma in 5. Gamera had a big duck to do and are back in the pack now in 10. All the boats finding it difficult to sail high and slow into this top mark because of the amount of swell. Really punching into the swell and making it difficult to keep the momentum of the boat as they get close to that windward mark. Oh, there's an infringement. Black Star borne away so sharply. There was an overlap there with Gomera. Maybe there's a penalty going to come, but Black Star already with a kite up. Let's see if there's any penalty flags shown by the umpires. Right now, it looks not. It looks like they were clear, so that's all fine. So, looking at the fleet here, we have Peninsula being rolled now by Artemis because Artemis went high. Nika in second. It's Team Aqua in first. Team Aqua doing a nice job here, extending, holding on starboard out of the top mark. They want to just keep the boat rumbling nice and fast. The boat's got the bow wave back. They're not quite, they're surging down those waves. It's still unbelievably close as we come into the bottom. The boats are so closely packed. The tacticians are having to work overtime to weave their way through the unbelievable number of boats coming into the bottom mark. There's a spinnaker coming down on the first boat. That first boat is Team Aqua. The first boat round, Team Aqua. From the second boat, on the second boat round, that's going to be Team Nika. And very hot on the heels is Team Artemis. It's Artemis who've gained a few other boats to get up into 3 here, and they're not far off 2. It's Black Star with another good result, but at that time there's very, very tricky situation coming into the bottom mark. One of the boats was on port early and is now having to give room for 2 boats who are coming in late on starboard. There's going to be some crazy parking up at this lure mark for those 4 boats all at the same time. Is that going to give the space in for Peninsula to come round? Oh, there's protest flags flying. It's going to have to do a penalty. Lanzarote Racing, Calera Racing having to come so wide out of that lure mark because of the boats taking water inside them. That's going to put them unbelievably far out of the dealings after that. So coming up to top mark, it's very, very close. There's a really, really hard rounding here. It's really close between Aqua and Artemis. Artemis and Nika have both gained a huge gain on that beat relative to Team Aqua. And what's it going to be down at the finish here? We have got a super duper close finish. It's a mega close finish down here. The boat in second is pushing so hard relative to the boat in first. The boat in second is Team Aqua. At the moment, it looks like it's the Swedish team. Team Artemis is going to win the last race of the day, I believe. No, that wasn't Team Artemis. Yeah. And second through the line is Team Aqua. So that could have been Team Nika first, then Team Aqua, and then Team Artemis. Nika thread the Isle of the Needle down the middle of the course and make huge gains to come from third to first on that last run. But what a day, what an unbelievably awesome day racing here in Marstrand. Marstrand has really turned on the goods today. Rounding in, crossing line in 4 is team from Monaco, the Charisma team, and in 5 is Black Star racing that big red spinnaker in 5 with Peninsula in 6. So a pretty solid day there for Peninsula, 1, 2 and 6, and some very, very solid performances, and 7 is Team Aleph coming down in there. So as we reflect on the day, it's been a day of big waves, a building breeze, an oscillating wind. Maybe there's been a little bit of a favour for the right hand side. Maybe it's just been about keeping clear and really minimising the amount of traffic as you come into those wimmer marks. Each of the boats that's got stuck in traffic has lost in a pretty big way because of the amount of boats we'll have on a race course now. But what excellent racing. There is huge gains to be had and huge losses to be had. So at the end of day 1, we have Peninsula Racing, a 1-2-6 from Nika, from Aleph, in 4th Charisma, 5th Artemis, 6th Team Aqua.
Yeah, it's great to be back in this beautiful Marstrand. And yeah, today was a great day for us. It's been a while since we've had such a strong start to a regatta, but I think fair dues to the crew. They've been working very hard on the boat, on the new boat. It's taken quite a while to get us tuned up. Yeah, it's very early, but we'll take definitely take this nice result today and see what happens.
Today we had very big waves, and it was difficult going upwind. Initially, wind wasn't so strong, started off around 8-9 knots and then built through the day to 14-15 knots, which was a lot easier. And the sea state settled down, but all is good. Sailing with my son on board, he's doing the grinding, which is always fun to have him there with me. And average performance for the day. You know, some high moments, some low moments as always, but it's really great to see 12 boats on the line.